Hello beautiful people, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I am bringing you two guests, Jamie and Sara. They are the founder of Wayapa Wuurrk, which is a place where you can learn all about Mother Nature. It is a place where you can also connect within yourself. At Wayapa Wuurrk, you will learn about how to take care of Mother Nature, and you will also truly learn about how to take care of yourself, about your mind, your body, your spirit, and your well-being. I am extremely thankful for Creative Mornings Brisbane because that's how I got introduced to Jamie, and I instantly knew that I had to contact them for them to share Wayapa Wuurrk's mission. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you're living at, or what kind of house you live in, or what job you have, this episode is gonna blow your mind. Yes, it is. You will learn about the impact that you have as an individual. You will learn about the power of nature. You will feel the amazing vibes through your screens. And guess what? You will definitely have a great laugh. So, enjoy!
Before you share about Wayapa Wuurrk, I would love to know, how are you both feeling today?
I'm good. It's been a busy day. So, but otherwise, yeah, I'm good. I've reset my computer to a factory reset and done three Zooms already today. So,
wow. And how about you, Jamie?
I'm feeling really good. I need to go for a walk though, because I've been inside for most of the day. But yeah, feeling really good today. Ready to have a yarn to you and share the Wayapa love to the world. So.
Yes. Well, please explain to people what Wayapa Wuurrk is. And also please tell people about the name, because I honestly love the meaning.
Yeah. So basically, Wayapa Wuurrk is two different Aboriginal names. The first name, Wayapa, is from my grandmother and my children's language, which is in the eastern part of Victoria, the western part of Victoria. And that means to join or connect, to infuse. And Wuurrk, or Wuurrk is a Gunai word from eastern Victoria, which means earth. So it's about connecting back to the earth for well-being.
And what do you guys do?
Developed what Sara taught me was the word modality. I didn't know what modality meant. That was a big word for me to learn. But the practice itself is that about 18 years ago, can't even remember, but I teach traditional Aboriginal dance to young Aboriginal kids. And one day they were having a bit of a how can I say it? They were very highly active and they weren't listening very well, and they were running around and not listening to my instructions. And I got a bit grumpy with them and decided to bring them in. And one of my elders said, just calm down, you just connect in and get them to connect back in. And so basically I took them on a journey, a story. I told them a story about connection to our ancestors, to Mother Earth, to the creation. And I guess today people will say that's a narrative meditation, but back then I was just having a story time with them. And then from that, each week I started to get them to stay grounded with their shoes off, to remind them our connection to the earth. And then I started to get them to put some of the traditional movements sort of to the practice without their feet leaving the ground. A lot of our dancing is us leaving the ground or stamping the ground to wake it up, but this time I wanted them to stay fully connected. And then sort of over time, the more I started to sort of sit in with it and do it, the more I started to understand the reasons for it. And then, it was 6 years ago, I met Sara. 7 years ago. Feels like yesterday. Don't forget. So I'd known Sara for a long time. We were good friends. And then, about 7 years ago, I said, let's start a business up. And she sort of asked me what sort of ideas that I had. And, Wayapa never had a name then. It was just a practice that I did. And I said, I've got this thing that I do. I said, I've never done yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or anything like that, but I've seen people doing it, but this is what this is for me. But the main part of it is about remembering that as a human being, that all of our ancestors connected into the earth at one point and they looked after it. And I said, Wayapa is about, honouring Aboriginal culture, but it's about honouring all humans on the planet and our relationship over time in how we all cultures had that relationship of connectivity, and all cultures had that relationship of responsibility and reciprocity. So Wayapa became, I guess, a platform or a way to share human connectivity to Mother Earth. And it talks not just about well-being for ourselves, but well-being for generations to come. So it's about intergenerational well-being, that, making sure that this place is healthy. So if we were to put, Sarah has got Welsh background, she was born in Canada, and she's a naturalised Australian. If we were to all stand in a straight line and look over our shoulders and look at our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, all the way back 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 years, we'd have the same amount of ancestors in our line. So Wayapa is about honouring all of those ancestors that looked after the environment that we benefit from. So it's about that reconnection.
I wanted to say that I have goosebumps and I'm getting a bit teary. I just think that is so beautiful, honestly. And I believe that for those who are listening and watching, I'm sure they will want to get involved and know that we have an impact as an individual. So how can people get more involved with you?
Absolutely. If they go to our website, Wayapa, WAYAPA.com, on our website, there's a number of offerings that we have. So we do everything from running workshops for 1 hour to a full day workshop. We also have online Zoom immersions, 6-week immersions, and we also have an online course. And that is a self-paced online course where they get an overview of what Wayapa is about, an introduction to Wayapa. And that's called Reconnect, the disconnection with Wayapa. And we also, for anybody out there who is looking at wanting to become an actual Wayapa practitioner, where they are able to professionally share Wayapa, they can do our diploma. As well, which we're currently, because of the situation, we're all having to hibernate. We're doing that online via Zoom at the moment. So there's a few different offerings that's available, and you can go to our website, but also follow us on socials. So we've got a Facebook page, Wayapa Wuurrk, and we're connected in with Instagram, LinkedIn.
I'm not very good at Twitter.
No, we're not very good at Twitter.
Not very good at Twitter.
So don't try and find us too much on Twitter, but Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, I will leave your details. Sorry?
YouTube as well. We do have a YouTube channel.
Yes, I will leave all your details in the description. Speaking of YouTube, you guys did put something today on Instagram talking about the free chats.
Yes.
Webinar.
So that's something that we've decided to do to really, because of the situation that we're finding ourselves in, particularly in Victoria, but also, around Australia and around the world, as, a second wave of COVID hits. It's, an opportunity to really reach out to people and connect. And I think that when people are in thinking that they've got to be inside, that they can't connect to Mother Earth, and that's something that we actually teach, that you can connect at any time. You just need to know how. So we're offering a free weekly webinar for 30 minutes where we'll just get on and have a bit of a yarn, and that'll happen every week, and we'll open it up to having some of our Wayapa practitioners also co-host, so that people can meet some of our other Wayapa practitioners, because we've got, we've trained over 120 people up, and we've probably got about 50 licensed practitioners who are actually out there teaching Wayapa.
Love it. And I think that is also a great way for people to, I guess, further understand what the program is. With the workshop and the online course, are they just like introductories to being a practitioner?
It's a good start.
It's a good start, yeah.
It's a good start. If people are interested in getting an overview of what WAP is about, then they're good places to start. And then a lot of people who do the online course or do a workshop go, oh my God, I love this. I want to become a practitioner and be able to share it professionally. And then they'll come and do our diploma. And then other times we've had people who have just turned up for the diploma who've never even seen a Wayapa workshop, and they've just known, they've been guided to be able to, that they know that they want to become a Wayapa practitioner. So they just enroll for the diploma.
They saw the ad on Friday, they enrolled Friday night, and they started on Saturday, and they're like, what is this about? I'm here. So we definitely recommend do the online stuff so you get an understanding of it.
Yeah.
I think the really exciting thing about Wayapa is that we want to see, we've created a modality for the world that focuses on the seasons and the cycles of the planet. So it focuses on being connected to those things. So we share it from an environmental platform first. Then there's the personal ways that you can connect to it. So, how does each individual person connect to those 14 elements? How do you see the sun, the moon, the trees, the earth? But then the amazing thing about it is that you can put these different cultural overlays on it. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, every culture has a name for the tree or has a name for the sun or the moon, and so that people can culturalize it to their own identity. So it's not the teachings of one particular way, because, for billions of years, the sun was just the sun. It never even had a name. It was just there. It's just that we come along as cultures and put a name to it when really that's irrelevant. But you can adapt it. Well, when I say adapt it, the modality stays the same, but how you feel and narrate that element comes up to you. So if we've been lucky enough to share it with people from Burma, from Sudan, from France, from Italy, from Ireland, from, anywhere. And they all say, oh, in my culture, we see the sun as this, but it's still the same thing, whether you're from China or from, Africa, there's still all these different cultural stories. It's not, we don't teach one way. It's not just an Aboriginal thing. It's a human thing. And that's what people have been really excited about Wayapa, because they can really embody it and make the practice their own.
I'm so happy that Creative Mornings Brisbane has got me connected with you, and I'm so happy to share your service with more people. I'm just so happy.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
With your free thing on YouTube?
Yeah, it won't be on YouTube. It'll be on Zoom. So people can go onto our website, and on the home page, they can hit the button that says sign up for the free webinar, and we'll send them out a Zoom link.
Is that a one-time thing?
No, they can join us if they want to join every week. They can do that.
We're just going to be offering it as a weekly thing at the moment, while especially here in Melbourne, like a big part of Melbourne is locked down to level 4, so they can only leave for an hour a day for exercise. So a lot of people are spending a lot of time inside. So we wanted to put that offering for people to help them, use some techniques to cope with that processes, but also for people who aren't in lockdown, who might be working in an office all day or stuck at home, give them some encouragement and some techniques on how to better connect. But that we haven't set an end date on that. We just say, look, let's just put it out there and see who turns up for a yarn and a cup of tea, and it might last 6 weeks, it might go on forever. We don't know.
Exciting things, and thank you for this service, especially given the current time. I didn't know they can only leave outside for an hour.
That's
crazy.
That's Melbourne Central. That's like
Melbourne Metro.
You can only go to the shops once a day. It's pretty locked down. There's a curfew. You're allowed out after 8 o'clock. Not allowed outside after 8 unless you're working. They're trying to really contain it, and they're putting in some hard measures. We're lucky we're outside of that, so we can go for a drive out the bush if we want to and exercise out there, so we're a bit lucky. But
we're in stage 3.
We're in stage 3, but not as bad as stage 4. But
thank you for bringing that up, because I actually really want to ask, what would be some lockdown tips that you would provide for people now?
During these sort of times, I suppose, when people are in lockdown and they can't go out as much, is to really make use of that 1 hour. And when they're out exercising, to actually be fully immersed and aware of the outside environment. One of the things we say in Wayapa is that embrace all elements of Mother Nature. We often always only celebrate the sunshine, but we need to celebrate the rain and the wind and the cold, because it's there for a purpose. So the more we connect into celebrating those elements, all of them equally, the better we'll feel. So it's that whole, sometimes we always talk about watching the weatherman on the TV. He always apologizes for rain and bad weather. It's like, there's no need to do that. But because of that, he'll say, we've got an amazing week of warm weather, but unfortunately it's going to be a really cold, bad day. So your well-being goes from being really happy about sunshine, and he goes, I'm really sorry, but it's going to be raining. And you go, oh, don't like that. So it's about saying to people, don't let the things that you can't change affect you. So you can't change the weather. So connect and embrace that. But then when you've been fully aware in that, when you come back inside and you sit down, turn the TV off and just remember that sunshine, or remember that wind, or remember that rain, and just fully connect into that, and you'll get benefits from that. So, that's just one small technique that we talk about and to be mindful of.
What would be, let's say, number one tip that you would give to people to be more mindful?
I think being grateful. Wayapa is really a gratitude practice of really being grateful for what is being provided to us. So even though we're in lockdown, or we like to call it hibernation, because it changes the spin on the negativity of it, we've still got, we've got the sun shining, you can breathe, in air. Mother Nature is still providing for us all of the time. And so it's the little things that you notice, the beautiful breeze that might be happening, those going outside, and even if you're in an apartment, sticking your head out the window or up to the window and getting those rays of sunshine, it's just so important, and to be grateful for that, because, that's so good for us. It's that connection, but also that vitamin D that we need. And it's just, I think that shifting our attitude towards gratitude just changes how we feel.
One of the other key points that we haven't spoken about yet is the sustainability side of the modality. So, one of the things that often is seen is you've got health and well-being over here, sustainability over here, when really they're one of the same thing. So it's about getting people to be mindful and aware that every day they have an impact on the environment in some way. Okay, so it's about connecting into your daily decisions that you make as to whether or not it's good for the environment or not so good for the environment, and how you can make those small changes in your everyday life that benefit the planet. So there's no magic number, there's no magic list. It's anything from, using a reusable keep cup, reusable face mask instead of a disposable face mask. So it's better for the planet. Keep cups, don't go and get a takeaway coffee cup, take your own. So all these millions of things that you can do every day, being mindful of, what companies are making your clothes, are they good for the environment? What companies are making your toilet paper? What companies are making your soap suds? Are they good for the environment? And when you start to go down that journey of connection to your own relationship with the planet, because that's what it is, and that's where we've lost that connection. Well, I had a really good Zoom talk before about not using the words connection or disconnection, but using the words active or inactive. So it's about saying, how active are you in your relationship with the planet through your awareness of how you're doing stuff? And the more active you become, the more greater sense of self and purpose you feel that you have. Like, I'm actually doing something to save the planet for generations to come. What greater cause can you have as a human being is to be actively involved in looking after this space for generations that we'll never ever see. So, to me, that was a really really good way of seeing things.
Illustrated so beautifully, and you actually also illustrate that on your website as well. So for those who are listening and watching, I highly encourage you to just follow them on Instagram, follow them on website, just literally everything. But I still feel like, you know, some people, they have this, I don't know, I call it that's my syndrome. Like people would say, that's my job, that's my house, that's my land, my property, or whatever. But personally, I don't think that we own anything, because at the end of the day, we're gonna die anyways. We can't take anything with us. So how would you encourage people to really start looking after, I don't know, like the way that our ancestors did?
Yes, that's a
Absolutely.
really great example. That's a really great example of explaining to people is that they can't take it with them. It'll be passed on. So it is that, you know, like you said then, our ancestors were very minimal in their materialism, you know, and how can we be mindful? And even in my own life journey, tell the story of coming from poverty. But society around me, society was saying that you have to have this, you need to have that to be this. You know, the old saying, the suit maketh the man, instead of, you know, saving the planet maketh the man, you know. So society has told us that we need all these things and we have to accumulate all this stuff. And, you know, our life has been, how can we just reduce and just get rid of it? Not get rid of it, but use it till it's fully used out. Like we don't just do a Marie and just throw everything out. We go, well, we've got it now, let's just use it. And if it breaks, how can we use it some more? Or can we repair it rather than replace it? So, you know, all those conversations around, you know, reducing and reduction and reusing and repurposing, and, you know, getting people to remember their ancestors, you know, whether you're, like I said, whether you're from Africa or from America or from China or from France, those old ways, we laugh at that. She always laughs when I talk about that stuff.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Because after 7 years, I'm still a funny guy. So after 7 years and 3 Zoom calls today, she still finds me comedical. So that's a good thing. So because I use all these little geological examples, she goes, you keep using the same ones. I'm like, that's all I can remember. So, but our ancestors were very minimal in their connection to their environment, and they didn't need much. And it is about how can we pull back to understand it. I think the example that you gave before was spot on. We can't take it with us. So, yeah. And the gift that we talk about is that the gift when you pass on to the next generation is to be able to live harmoniously with the environment. You know, it's not leaving them a big house, it's not leaving them a heap of money, it's actually being able to look after the environment or make their own way in life. You know, so we talk about the last 3 elements. We talk about the feminine and the masculine, the hunter-the-gatherer, but then the child, right? So the child's the last element. So to go forward in life, the children need to learn the knowledge of being connected and respectful of the environment. That's what we need to be teaching them. You know, not which stocks to buy or shares and gold and oil. And it's about saying, well, if you've got to invest in the future, go renewables, go sustainable. And, you know, but they have a responsibility to connect and to be responsible as they grow up, and then they will pass that on intergenerationally. So, you know, that's the other aspect of that.
Yes, thank you. I'm getting honestly so much goosebumps because I'm just so happy that I got to connect with you guys, and knowing that there are people like you and services like you that can help people to really connect with Mother Nature. Speaking of you guys being together for 7 years and 3 months, did you say?
3 hours.
See,
3 hours.
King remembers.
3 hours, 5 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Would you like to share with people how you guys met?
We met about 2004. I was working at the Koori Heritage Trust, which was an Aboriginal cultural centre focusing on southeastern or Victorian culture, and in the city in Melbourne. And I was doing a lot of tourism work for the cultural centre. And Jamie was a tour guide down at Tower Hill.
That old chestnut.
In near Warrnambool. and we met at trade show, tourism, Australian tourism exchange trade show, and we became friends because we started doing all the work together, and I had a huge amount of respect for Jamie. All of his cultural knowledge was phenomenal, and we do a number of trade shows together promoting Victorian Aboriginal tourism.
And I was a good dancer.
He was a good dancer on the dance floor.
I'm sure we were friends.
Yeah, you can tell he's a good dancer. And so, we became good friends, and for 10 years we were friends, and then we were both in different relationships over the time, and then I had just got back from overseas, and unfortunately it wasn't a great relationship that I'd ended, and we were doing I was hosting a white ribbon event, and Jamie put up his hand to be the MC for it. And
because I don't like talking very much. So.
And so we reconnected, and the ancestors stepped in and said, "Yes, you two are now meant to come together as a team,
dynamic duo." We've got the capes to prove it.
And that's how we fell in love, and it went from there. So not only did we become business partners, we became life partners as well. So it was meant to be.
Yes, beautiful. And for those who are listening,
Romeo and Juliet, they got nothing on us.
Yeah. For those who believe,
hopefully we don't die.
We're not going to die like Romeo and Juliet.
No. I was gonna say, for those who believe in Romeo and Juliet, I really think that you should read other books other than that. And for those who are watching and listening, if you're interested into getting to know more those people, I will have them on individually. So please stay tuned. Now, you know how before you talked about gratitude? You guys recently published a book, didn't you?
We did.
We were authors, co-authors of a book.
Yeah.
That little old thing.
Where can people find the book? Because it's about gratitude, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's actually called Silver Linings. We were invited to be contributing authors, so first-time authors, which was pretty exciting for us during the last hibernation period. And the book came out of a result of the global pandemic, where the editors most of the other authors were over in the United Kingdom, and they just got really tired of only hearing bad news stories with social media and all the news. It was just negative. And so they decided that they would put together a book about some of the positive or uplifting or inspiring stories that came out of the global pandemic. And they put all of that into a book called Silver Linings. And they invited us to contribute a chapter. So we wrote ours on the many lessons of Mother Earth. And if people wanted to read more, they could go on to Amazon and look for Silver Linings. And there's also a bonus playlist with the Silver Linings book on Spotify. So, and one of the really beautiful things about the book is that, well, there's two beautiful things. One is that everybody volunteered their time, including the editors, in putting it together. So all of the proceeds from the book purchases goes towards the nurses who are on the front line over in the United Kingdom, helping, support everybody over there. And the other great thing about the book is that there's blank pages at the back of the book for people to write their own silver linings that came out of COVID, which is, nice to remember what we're grateful for in life.
So for those who are struggling with gratitude, I think it's something that you practice. And if you don't do it daily yet, I highly encourage you to get the book, because since there is a blank page where you can start, why not?
Exactly.
Speaking about Mother Nature, I feel like a lot of times people are afraid to surrender and to have faith in Mother Nature. How can people, I guess, trust more and have more faith?
Definitely go outside and take a nice big deep breath of fresh air. That's keeping you alive. If you can't have any faith in that, people need to check their pulse, because that in itself, just that pure connection through breath. Hold your breath for a couple of minutes and don't take a breath, and see how grateful you are when you do. She is there to hold you. From the water that we drink to the food that we eat, all comes from Mother Nature. Have gratitude every time you sit at a table. Just give simple thanks to Mother Earth, where you can do your creator thanks if you want to. We always thank Mother Earth for the food that's provided, the people that grew it. Those things, are really core values of Wayapa, and to have that gratitude. And I challenge people to go and hug a tree. When was the last time someone hugged a tree? It's giving you oxygen. Go and give it a nice big hug. And science has proven it actually physiologically makes you feel happier, because it actually releases chemicals to interact with our own. And we always say, if it doesn't make you feel happy, it'll make you feel a little bit silly, which is almost like happiness. So, someone will see you and start laughing. So someone will be happy for the fact that you hugged the tree. So, feel happy that you've made someone else happy by feeling a bit silly.
If you can't hug a tree, but like Jamie said, just go outside and breathe.
So important.
Yeah, just be grateful that you're alive. Now, what would be, let's say, 3 to 5 tips that you would like everyone to implement so they can really look after their well-being?
I think that I would start with just going outside. If people can't go outside, then, sit next to a window or open up the window and sit next to it. Do that deep breathing. Really, think about your 5 senses. What do you feel? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? And then feel the smell. And feel what the vibration is that's all around you, because everything is from Mother Nature. Everything is provided to us from Mother Nature. So being grateful in that space is really important. So that's number 1. What about you?
That's a big one. There's a lot in that.
Okay, that's 1 to 3.
I think the visualization, I don't think a lot of people don't visualize enough anymore, because we have a lot of devices in our life where we expect to see the story being told to us, as opposed to sitting within ourselves and connecting to our own story through our own experiences. So one of the things that I do is I think about a place that's very dear to me that I love to visit. And even though I can't physically be there, I close my eyes and straight away I'm there. So the things that Sarah said, using the visualization, smelling the salt sea air, watching the birds, the seagulls fly over, feeling the warmth of the rocks under me that I'm sitting. So, really connecting into that special place, to me, helps ground me and center me, even when I'm stuck inside. Well, I'm not stuck inside. I can walk outside anytime I want to. But, often when I can't go home to that special place, I'll go home in my mind. And then, quantum physics teaches if we can feel it or see it in our mind and feel it in our bodies, then that's that connection. So, that's another good tip. And think about your own consumerism and materialism. Ask yourself, do you want it or do you need it? Often, you don't need it, you just want it. Yeah. So put yourself through all those gates. Where's it made? Who's making it? Where's it going to go? That's another little tip. So that just reminds people to just stay connected to the narrative of our relationship with Mother Earth, because, she is providing us with all those resources to make all the things that we have. And, just ask yourself those things.
Just be really conscious, because, I think sometimes, we know that we go into when we're uncomfortable, and we're in fear, which, unfortunately, a lot of the time we're bombarded by fear all the time, with social media, with the news. It's a lot of negative stuff that is, amping us up with fear rather than saying, it's going to be okay. So I think that, stepping outside of that space, disconnecting, making sure you're disconnecting from those things and connecting in to the things that are positive. Whether it's reading a book that's positive or turning on positive social media or, turning on, beautiful music that makes you feel better, and just, really not getting caught up in those, being aware of what those, of how we're trying to numb ourselves and sitting in the feeling of, that it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel emotion, but how do we, make peace with that emotion, find the balance in it and surrender to it, as you said before, Ting, rather than running away from it. So rather than, reaching for, a bottle of wine, or not saying that you can have a glass or two, but, rather than, totally numbing yourself, or, binge watching TV, or also one of the things I think during this time, Amazon and, all of the massive retail outlets, all of the online outlets, there's a lot of people who are buying things online because they can't get out. And it's like, oh, I'll just buy this, I'll buy this. But it's really done unconsciously. And, so just sitting in that space of being really conscious of, what Jamie said before, do I need it? Do I want it? Where is it going to go? And I always add this one on, where is it going to go, once we pass on, because those are the things that we hand down generationally to our kids, and what's going to happen to those things, they're going to have to deal with, dumping, not dumping it, but they'll have to deal with, doing something with it. So just being really mindful of that.
Yes. Thank you for those.
Sorry, that was a big list.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. I really like the never be sorry, and I really like the self-reflecting one. Like seriously, guys, now is such a great time to be like, is that what I need or want? And it's not, I guess, also not just materialistic things. Like for example, if you want to go on a certain diet, are you doing it because you want to, or because you're doing it for somebody else, or just many things? I think you guys said it perfectly. Be more conscious, and now is like the perfect time to do so. Yeah.
Really perfect time to do it.
Yeah. But that's what they can do now. What would be some things that you would like them to keep after COVID?
All of the above. have definitely more awareness and awakening and gratitude for the things that people say, I've been taken, all this has been taken away from me. I can't go out to the bush anymore. I'm going to stay inside. I'm going to go a 5 kilometre radius around my house. So that gratitude now, that once it gets lifted, people have a greater appreciation for their environment and a greater appreciation for the benefits of the environment when they're connected to it. So that's one thing I'd like to see people maintain after that the COVID restrictions lift.
Absolutely. This isn't just something for, to deal with a global pandemic. It is about a lifestyle. So we talk about all the time within Wayapa that it's not just a practice, it's a way of living. So it's the Wayapa way of living, and it's about being conscious and mindful all the time in everything that we do, of how we interact with our environment.
Yes, agree. Thank you. So people be more conscious now. Now is a great time. Connect with Earth and with yourself. Don't be afraid.
Hug that tree, guys.
Hug a tree. But you guys do crystals, right? Am I right or wrong? Crystals?
We use crystals to help heal and to balance. Yeah.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about it?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got I wear my crystal quartz necklace all the time. So crystal quartz is considered a master healing stone. So it's for anything that, for overall well-being. So I wear that all of the time. Jamie actually gave me that one. That's actually from his country. So, which is beautiful. So we use crystals all of the time to, whether, you might use a particular crystal as a protection stone, or you might use it for a healing stone. It's really about, doing some, we really were self-taught around, doing some research as to what feels good or feels right. Sometimes it's a matter of just getting a book and saying, what do I need a crystal for? And getting the crystal, making sure it's ethically sourced, and then enjoying the healing properties that crystal might bring to you.
Yes, because I was gonna say, for those who are listening and watching who might be stuck at home, here is a tool if you need it. Crystals, and also like sage, like burning smell and stuff like that. And for those who are interested, would you be comfortable if they get in contact with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have a yarn too about our experiences with those things for sure.
Yeah, they can email us. They can go on the website. There's contact forms on the website, and they can get our contact details.
If they want to know what the weather's going to be like next week, or if they want to know what the weather's going to be like next month, or who's going to win the footy grand final, give us a message. I'll give you some answers. I mightn't be right, but I'll have a guess.
Thank you.
Keep it Wayapa related, guys. I was joking.
Well, before I ask you my last question, do you feel like there is anything I didn't ask or you would like to share?
I think that I think the most important thing is to find balance every day in what we're doing, and I think that's one of the greatest things that nature teaches us is about balance. Sometimes it might seem that it's rocky, that we're having a hard time, but then we'll have a good day the next day. The sun will come up tomorrow, but the sun will come up tomorrow.
Sings that. Yeah, she's a great singer.
Oh no, don't. He's having.
You should perform when you have your episode. I think I would like that.
Yes.
No, I can't. I actually am tone deaf, Ting. So he's winding me up.
I'm being cheeky. Because I can't sing either. I sound like I'm gasping for air. But anyway. No, I just think just getting people to have that gratitude, connecting to nature, tune in to get some Wayapa words from us from time to time. If they want to check us out on those platforms, we'd be happy to have yarns. Obviously, the free webinar will just be general chats about Wayapa. But if they want to learn more about the modality, there's obviously all those online offerings and coming events. So
something just popped into my head. So before I ask my actual last question.
Okay.
What is your routine like now? For those, because you say balance it out. Would you like to illustrate like how to balance it out?
Sure.
It's a bit Groundhog Day. It's a bit like every day is the same almost. But go tell us.
Our day, we haven't changed that much from what we do, because we are very blessed to have created our business for our sole purpose. So we work from home. So that has
our dog loves the fact that we work from home because he's not left at home. He's full time with us.
Yeah. But we get up in the morning and we start the day with gratitude for what we talk about, what we're grateful for, and connecting with each other, and with our puppy dog, and then we always start the day with a meditation, and then we also usually do a sauna. We actually have a sauna at home and we do a plunge in the pool afterwards, and so it's nice and cold.
This time of year it's cold.
And then we do our Wayapa session. So we always do a Wayapa session at least once a day, which is the movement meditation. And then we pretty much spend the day connecting through Wayapa. So whether it's doing podcasts or sharing workshops or working creatively to create new offerings, and
supporting our other practitioners, other practitioners obviously ringing up and getting advice, and whether it be business or about the modality, creating content, and trying to really, look after our bodies, nourish our bodies with good food, where we can get at organic food, which is good for the planet. And just having that gratitude and getting some other physical activity in as well.
And plenty of sleep.
Plenty of sleep, plenty of water, H2O.
Yes.
So that's pretty much our lives.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll do that again tomorrow.
See, I just want to say to those who are listening and watching, it really isn't that difficult for you to look after yourselves. Like, by the sounds of it, you guys set up a morning routine to ensure that you have an amazing day. Because yes, meditation is important. You need to set up your mood. You need to have amazing sleep so you have energy. Yeah, I just want to remind people how easy it is, and you have the control just sitting here.
Yes.
It's about choice.
That's a great way of looking at it, Ting, is that we often say, we don't have time, but everybody gets the same 24 hours a day. No one gets any longer or any less, right? So it's about how we maximize that 24 hours. Too many cat videos on YouTube? That's why you can't go for a run or do a meditation. Well,
And it is about balance all the time. And we don't want to sound like we've got it all worked out.
Because I watched a couple of cat videos, I will say, all right? I'm just saying you're still allowed to watch a cat video on YouTube. They're funny. And I'm just saying don't spend 17 hours watching cat videos all week.
That's it. Everybody's going to have their tough times, their rough days. But it's about using all the tools that you have and making those better choices. So, when you're deciding to have, junk food as opposed to healthy food, thinking about what are the consequences going to be? Am I going to feel better on that healthy food, and just hopefully making better choices more often.
Yeah, and if you're going to have a piece of cake, have a piece of cake, not the whole cake, or have one glass of wine, not the whole box, or, it's just about knowing what's going to make you feel good and what's not.
Yes. Sorry. I need to laugh.
Go for it. Laughter is so important. We don't laugh enough. We're not silly enough. And that's one of the things I love about Wayapa, is that it actually gets you to embrace your inner child and be silly.
Yes, laughter is the best medicine, everyone. So,
they say it. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping that immunity boosted.
Yes. Thank you for helping me boosting my immune system.
That's why she's so healthy, because I'm a funny guy. That's why she's so healthy and well.
Yes.
She's 78 and she looks like she's 24 because I make her. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm not 78.
I was joking. I'm 26.
I don't believe you.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start. Well, at least you're laughing. Doesn't matter if you believe me or not. But I agree. Keep laughing, guys. It's good for you.
Yes. So my last question for you is, how do you think we can be there for each other in general?
I think it's about one of the most important things, I think, and it's something we do talk a lot about in Wayapa, is not being judgmental. So we don't actually, in Wayapa, we don't say what people need to do. We encourage people. So, if what they can do to make, to look after Mother Earth is as simple as buying a keep cup, well, then that's way better than not buying a keep cup. So let's not be judgmental with each other. Let's be encouraging and inspiring and supportive and loving and kind.
That's a mic drop there. That's a mic drop. That's. I just want to reiterate that. That's one of our biggest, societal issues is judgment. And I think that the less judgment on people's personal lives and how they interact. It's about encouraging and influencing people to make positive changes as opposed to judging them on what they should and shouldn't be doing. It's about supporting people and supporting each other, that we all have our own individual journeys as a collective space of humanity, that, and it is that we can just remove some of those layers of judgment, irrelevant judgment. I think the world will be a much better place.
Yes. I 100% agree. For those, I guess for people who start with judgment, I just want to say, before you pass on any judgment, you don't know what the other person is going through. So maybe sometimes just step back and be like, okay, like Jamie said, everyone is on their unique journey. So yeah. And also, if you start connecting with Mother Earth, you will really start being less judgmental. You will start understanding, and you will have more acceptance, and etc. So please, I highly encourage people to contact Wayapa Wuurrk. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to speak to you again.
Thanks, Ting.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Ting. Looking forward to it.
What did you enjoy most about the interview? Do you have great dance moves like Jamie? Did you have a great laugh? Because I did. I wasn't joking when I said I got goosebumps and got teary. Because I'm just so happy that there are services like this to help more people, to encourage more people to see that there is a fulfilling, liberating, a loving, peaceful, impactful way to live. A life that is filled with amazing vibes. We're really not here on earth for ourselves, or for our family, or for the friends around us, or relatives, or whatever. No, each and every one of us are here to make a difference for the future, like what our ancestors did. So what kind of impact would you like to have for the future? What kind of footprints would you like to leave behind? What kind of world would you like to see in the future? Have a think. It's always a great time to step back and reflect. If you are interested to know more, Wayapa Wuurrk's details are all in the description below. I would highly encourage you to give them a follow on social media. Now don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button if you have loved it, and share it with someone, because you never know what they're going through. You can click here to find out more about meditation, earthing, or connect within, or you can click here to learn about how you can turn your life around. And remember, you're amazing and you are not alone. I will see you next time.